Hey, okay, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. What do you say? All right. Hey, how's everyone doing so far? You guys doing good so far? Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. So, I'm your host, Eric Thompson. I am president of Ninja Coaching. And you guys, what this is the Ninja Kickoff. This is something that we do for you, that we do for the Ninja Nation on the first Monday of every month. And the mission has three parts to the mission with the Ninja Kickoff. Our mission is to launch you into the new month with a high positive mindset, to build up your skill set, and then encourage you to take proactive action so that you can go from the life you have to the life you dream about. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here today. On behalf of all of us here at Ninja Selling, thank you for being a part of the Ninja Nation. Thank you so much again for being here today. What do you say we go have an on-purpose 20 minutes together? Should we do that together? Let's go do that. So that's what we do in the Ninja Kickoff. We're just together for 20 minutes. We make this very on purpose. So I think that we should go ahead and launch in. Okay, so let's go ahead and launch in. So today's theme, you guys, today's title is Clarity is Power. Okay, so let me ask you this. Who would agree with that? Who would agree that clarity is power? And I'm guessing that you would. Of course you would, because all of you are ninjas. You know that clarity is power. So what today is about helping you to become more clear. It's about helping you to help your clients to become more clear so that you are empowered to take those proactive actions, so that your clients are empowered to make really good decisions. Okay, so we know that clarity creates power. So that's what today is all about. Let me ask you this. Have you ever heard the term a flight to quality? Have you ever heard that term, a flight to quality? I'm guessing that you have. That's a common term in business. It makes a lot of sense, right? Where people would be attracted to high quality. So we know that's true. And you guys, what else is true right now? What's always been true, but what's especially true right now, is that there is a flight to clarity, right? There is a flight to clarity. So guys, here's the thing. Right now, in the world, in the outside environment, there's a lot of noise. There's some uncertainty. There's some dissent, right? There's some disagreements. There's some unrest, right? There's some angst. You know, all we have to do is look at our Facebook feed. So what would happen if we were the ones creating clarity? What would happen, you guys, if we were the ones that other people could count on? So in a time, in a place, and by the way, what's happening now is not new. We're on a streak now of several years in a row where the outside world is giving us a lot of uncertainty. So what would happen if we were a place, a person that other people could count on? What would happen if we were a place, a person that created all kinds of stability, all kinds of clarity? Would that be attractive? Absolutely. So what would happen if that was your simple mission? What would happen if you said, you know what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to be the person, I'm going to be the place that other people can count on, because I know that will provide a ton of value, and I know that will be very attractive to other people. So that's what our charge is to you today in our lesson together, is to be the place, be the person that other people can count on, and that will become incredibly attractive, because clarity is power, and there is absolutely a flight to clarity. Okay, so are you with me on that? Can you commit to that? Please say yes, that you can do that. Okay, so what we know, because we're ninjas, what we know is that our mission is to create an environment called green light selling. All right, so when there's a green light for your clients, they're going to feel really confident in making a decision, and they're going to keep moving forward, which is obviously good for us, but especially it's good for them. All right, that's what's really important, is that we create an environment of a green light selling so that they can make good proactive decisions, because that's really good for them. So what does it mean to have a green light? What does a green light environment look like? Well, that's an environment where they feel clear and confident, right? So when they feel clear and confident, they are going to make a decision. They're going to keep going forward, right? So that's what green light selling means. So what's red light selling? Well, red light selling is obviously the opposite of that. And red light selling is when you hear things like, you know what, I think we need to think about it. You know what, we're just not sure right now. You know what, I think we're just going to give it some time. You know what, I think we're going to wait and see. Okay, so when people are in a wait and see mode, when you're hearing a whole lot of we need to think about, that can be a signal that there's more red light than green light. So your mission is to create clarity and confidence, The way to get someone confident is to create clarity. All right. So when we look at what might hold someone back, when we look at what someone might be confused about, we can typically look at one of three places. Okay. So they might be confused about the market, they might be confused about the process, or they might be confused about what and why they are wanting to purchase. All right. So I think buyers would be the best example of this. Buyers would be the easiest, most straightforward place to apply this concept to, right, of green light selling. So are your buyers clear about the market? Are they clear about the process, how things work, the steps they need to take? Are they clear about what they want to purchase and why? So this can be for you just an easy, simple, straightforward checklist. It can be an audit as you look at people who are on your hot list, on your hot and confused list, for you to look at, okay, how can I provide clarity on the market, the process, what they want to purchase and why? The good news for you is the Ninja Selling System, the buyer process we teach you, helps with all of that. Okay, so we know what? We know that there are three keys to success, right? It's mindset, skill set, action. So right now, as we go deeper on the clarity is power topic, right now is a chance for you to think about, okay, scale of 1 to 10, where's my mindset? Scale of 1 to 10, what do my skills look like relative to today's market? Am I doing a good job of keeping my saw sharp, of staying on top of my skills, building those up for today's market? And also, scale of 1 to 10, how am I doing on my actions going forward? So what I'm going to give you today, what we're going to offer you today, will be coaching related to these three success keys, right? All around the theme of clarity is power. That's what we're going to focus on today. I want to give you specific coaching, again, on mindset, skill set, action, so that you know exactly what to do to move you closer to a 10 in all of these three categories: your mindset, your skill set, your action. Okay, so let's start with, you guys, let's start with mindset. Mindset is on purpose the first item on the list of your keys to success. It always starts with what? It always starts with mindset. So it goes mindset, skill set, action. So I'm going to give you a simple mindset tool, a simple mindset lesson I think it can really help you. All right, so here's the deal. There are things in our life, there are things in the world that we cannot control. And there are things in our life, in our world, that we can control. All right, it's really that simple. And so we can list out the things that we cannot control. We can list out the things that we can control. So let me ask you this. If we did start to make a list over here, what would be some things that we would put over here? Well, we would put what? We'd put interest rates. We would put the economy. We would put politics. We would put the world, right? How are different countries getting along? We would put over here other people's behavior. And believe me, I know that all too well because I have two teenage daughters in my household. I know that you cannot control other people's behavior. So the point is, guys, that this would be a long list if we were to make this list. But here's the deal. There's also this list over here. There's this list of items that we can absolutely control. So there's all this stuff over here that we cannot control, but there's all this stuff over here that we can absolutely control. So what can we control? We can control our routine. We can control our mornings. We can control what we're feeding our brain, which then puts us into a more high positive mindset. We can control the types of environments that we put ourselves in. We can control the people that we surround ourselves with. We can control absolutely our actions. So ultimately, we're in control of our mindset, our skill set, our actions, all those things are over here. So let me ask you this. When we put a whole lot of focus on this side of the ledger, all the things that we cannot control, how does that feel? How does it feel to put a lot of effort and energy and focus on this side of the ledger? Well, you know what? It feels awful, right? We know that. It feels disempowering, right? So clarity is power. This feels disempowering when we put a lot of focus over here. How does it feel when we put a lot of focus, a lot of energy, a lot of effort on the things that we can control? It feels amazing. It feels incredible. It feels empowering. So a quick check-in, a quick tool, a quick exercise, if you find yourself in your mindset feeling disempowered, unmotivated, not on purpose, a quick check-in is to look at, where am I focusing? Am I focusing over here, or am I focusing over here? Because we know that what? We know that what you focus on expands. So if we're putting a lot of effort and energy, lots of focus over here, these things will only get bigger. Now, we're not going to ignore these things. We need to be aware of all these items. We're not putting our head in the sand, and yet we're going to choose to put our focus over here, right? So that's a simple mindset exercise. If you find yourself in a lower energy quadrant, if you find yourself over on the negative side of our energy quadrant, look at where your focus is on this ledger, shift it over here to the things that you absolutely can control. You can do that today, all right? So that's your mindset coaching for today. Your skill set coaching for today is this. A key skill we find right now in today's market is your ability to articulate the long-term performance of your market. Here's why that's true. Here's why this is so important right now, is because there is a lot of short-term change happening in the market, happening with interest rates, happening with people's mindset, right? People are caught up in what's happening today, what's going to happen this week, what will happen this month. And all that confusion about the short term can do what? It can create a red light selling environment where people will freeze up, they won't take action. So what can be very helpful in that situation is to change up the time frame, to shift up the perspective, and to start talking about, to help your clients see what has happened over the long term in your market. Because here's the thing, in every single one of your markets, you will have a positive story to tell. You will have an empowering set of data to show your clients when you look at how your market has performed over the long term. So when you find your clients caught up in the short term, and that's causing them to hold back and to freeze, what can be really helpful is to go through this process. All right, so here's the process. Here's the key skill. Number one, because you're a ninja, you ask for permission. So you would say to them, hey, is it okay with you if we kind of take a step back and we look at how our market has been performing over the long term? Would that be helpful if I were able to show that to you? They will, of course, say yes. And then what do you do next? Take them through the data. Take them through the long-term data of your market. Show them at least 10 years of what's been happening with your market, specifically focused on appreciation. So I'm filming this in Fort Collins, Colorado, where I live. And we can show over the last 40 years, our market has appreciated just under 6% per year on average for 40 years, right? That's an empowering set of data. Then after you show the data, you talk about why that is. Here's why that's true in our market. And the reason why is we have certain fundamentals in our market. So here's the thing, all of you have very specific fundamentals that you can share about your market that cause your market to perform for the long term. So that might be things like your economy and the diversity of your economy. You don't rely just on one thing. It might be certain things about the quality of life. It might be the fact that your region, your area is famous for certain things. It's very attractive for people for very specific reasons. Maybe it's affordable. Maybe it's a gorgeous resort. All of you, bottom line, all of you have really specific fundamentals that you can speak to show your clients on why your market has performed over the long term. Can you see how this is going to provide clarity, and it's going to help them and get them out of this very short-term thinking into long-term thinking? And then you ask them, you finish by asking them, hey, let me ask you this, how do you see our market going for the time that you're going to live here? You said you want to live here for 10 years. How might you expect our market to perform for the next 10 years? How might you expect interest rates to go for the next 10 years? Okay, so that is your key skill set lesson. It's to talk about the long-term performance of the market. Okay, so now just for fun, I'm going to share this with you. And this is your action step. So again, today, you guys, we're going mindset, skill set, action. Our theme is clarity is power. I'm going to give you some really clear coaching on things to do to help in those three areas: mindset, skill set, action. So we're finishing with action. And this is a fun one. I think that this is relevant. It's relative to what's happening right now. And we're going to call this positive flow. So what would happen if you were not only in flow? We know about the power of flow when we look at the Ninja 9. But what if you became really intentional this week on what we're calling positive flow, and you went to specifically look for positives out there, right? And we're going to look specifically in your social media feed. So what I would challenge you to do, what we would offer you to do today, or at least this week, at a minimum, go find 5 positives in your social media post, all right? And they're out there, believe me, there's a lot of things that maybe are not positive right now. Again, there's a lot of noise out there, but there are positives. So what does this look like? This looks like someone who posts a positive quote. This looks like someone who had something great happen in their family, something that they're celebrating. This looks like someone who just went on vacation, right? And they just got back from a wonderful trip. They had a child get married. They had a child reach a significant milestone. They had a spouse or partner achieve something that's a really big deal that they're celebrating, right? So what you do is you look for those. All right, and what that will help you with, because what you focus on expands, what that will help you with is your mindset, right? You're looking for the positives. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna acknowledge those 5 positives offline, all right? We do those offline because we're ninjas. So I want you to reach out to those 5 people. What we would challenge you to do is reach out to those 5 people offline, just acknowledge that, say, hey, I just wanna say thank you for being a positive voice in my Facebook feed. I really appreciate that. I just wanted to say congratulations on that big achievement. I just wanted to say, wow, that looked like an amazing vacation that you took. Tell me more about that. You can do this with a phone call. You can do this with a handwritten note. You know how to do that. So it's going to put even more emphasis on those positives. It's going to get you in flow in a positive way. These are really easy, simple, straightforward to do because you're just reaching out to say either congratulations or thank you, way to go. I noticed that. Bravo. Tell me more about that. It gets you into positive flow. So guys, what do we know? We know that clarity is power. And you are in charge of that, all right? So to the extent that you can make yourself more clear, you make yourself more valuable and more attractive. To the extent that you can make your clients more clear, you're gonna get them in a position to take some really proactive actions to help themselves out, right? So that you can help get them out of a stuck mode when you help them to become more clear. And you're just gonna be a person that's adding a lot of value. Bottom line, you will be a person that other people can count on. Thank you so much for being here today with us on the Ninja Kickoff. Again, this is something that we do the first Monday of every single month to launch you into the new month with a high positive mindset, build up your skill set, encourage you to take proactive actions. We appreciate you being here today. We appreciate you being a part of the Ninja Nation. Have a terrific Monday. We look forward to seeing you really soon. Y'all take care. Bye.